everyone, my name is Sophie and welcome to the forest at the Samuel de Champlain Provincial Park. We're at the Canadian Ecology Centre and it's located within the park. Today we're going to be looking at a book that I really like. It's called Animals in Winter and it's by Henrietta Bancroft and Richard G. Van Gelder. It's illustrated by Helen K. Davey, so she drew all the pictures. So before we get into the book, I want you to take a look at the cover and the title and see if those are clues to tell you what the book might be about. For me, I see a fox and I see some snow and I also see some branches coming up here. Those are really good clues about what the book might be about. So let's find out. Here we have some more clues about what the book might be about. And as we turn another page, we have another clue. You might recognize that animal or that plant or maybe both. Animals in winter. The days grow short, the nights grow long. It's getting colder. Winter is coming. Leaves have fallen from the trees. There are no berries on the bushes. Insects are gone. The grass is dead and brown. So the seasons are changing. Birds and other animals are getting ready for winter. Some of the birds will fly south. Bluebirds and orioles go towards the south. They go where it is warm and sunny and where there is food for them to eat. When spring comes, the birds will make the long journey back north. They migrate. Some butterflies migrate too. That is what the monarch butterflies do. How beautiful are they? They gather in a tree by the hundreds before cold weather comes. They stay in the tree all night. In the morning, they fly toward their winter homes in the south. There they are, all in a group, getting ready for their big journey. Many bats fly south too, but some bats stay in the north all winter. When the weather gets cold, they go in a cave. There is no wind or snow in that cave. The bats sleep there all winter. They do not eat. They live on fat stored inside them. They do not move. They hardly breathe. They sleep, sleep, sleep. They hibernate. Woodchucks hibernate too. When fall comes, a woodchuck eats and eats and eats and eats. He eats grass, twigs, and leaves. He grows fat. When it gets cold, the woodchuck crawls into his long tunnel and goes to sleep. So here we have a picture of that tunnel. So the woodchuck creates a secret entrance and also a main entrance. The main entrance is marked with a mound, and this could be a sun porch and also a watchtower. Then the woodchuck has created a tunnel that drops and becomes narrow to keep out predators. And both of those tunnels lead to a toilet chamber, which the woodchuck will use to go to the bathroom, and it's below the sleeping chamber that has some nice fluffy, probably branches and twigs for some sleeping time. So here we have a woodchuck. What the woodchuck looks like in December and what's happening outside the sleeping chamber in those months. Here we have December, January, February, and March. The woodchuck looks very cozy. Does he sleep for a day? Longer than that. Does he sleep for a week? Longer than that. A month? Even longer. A woodchuck can sleep as long as 4 months. Wow. The woodchuck seems hardly alive. He breathes very slowly. His heart rate beats slowly. He sleeps. He hibernates. Some animals do not have to hibernate. They gather food and save it for the winter. This is what a pika does. A pika looks like a rabbit, but with round ears. Pikas live in high mountains where winters are very long and cold. They eat grass. In summer, they cut more grass than they can eat. They spread the grass on flat stones, and the hot sun dries it. There the pika has some grass, and there's some drying grass, and that looks like some grass that's being stored. By the end of summer, a pika may have gathered 50 pounds of grass. She hides it under rocks. In winter, she eats the dry grass. It keeps her alive. Squirrels gather food too and save it for winter. They dig holes in the ground. They bury hickory nuts and acorns. When winter comes, they dig them up and eat them. Sometimes squirrels forget where they buried the nuts. Trees may grow from the nuts that squirrels forget about. There's a familiar animal for most of us. Some animals do not get ready for winter at all. They do not store food. They do not hibernate. They do not migrate. They must hunt for food all winter long. There are mice that must hunt all winter for seeds of goldenrod, asters, and other wild plants. Sometimes they eat farmers' corn, oats, and wheat. Deer must dig in the snow for dried leaves, plants, and moss. When the snow is deep, they must eat the twigs, buds, and bark of trees. There we have 2 deer. The rabbit must hunt under the snow for bits of grass and plants. When the snow is deep, he too eats the buds and bark of bushes so he can stay alive. There's the rabbit eating a little, well, it looks like the rabbit has dug out a little bush. In the winter, the fox hunts for mice and rabbits. This fox has discovered a mouse in its tunnel beneath the snow. It's amazing how foxes can detect animals like mice that travel beneath the snow's surface. So there's the surface of the snow that we can all see. And below, the mice have created a series of trails and a network to hide from foxes, but foxes can still detect the mice. So when the winter is cold and the snow is deep, many animals cannot find food. Here are some ways that you can help animals in winter. So you can nail a sunflower head to a post or a fence. We all know that sunflowers have seeds in them, and a lot of different animals like birds and squirrels really like to eat those in the winter. You can also plant shrubs with berries for food and shelter. And you can also put up a bird house. So there are a lot of different ideas that you can help animals, and you might be doing some of these, or you might be thinking of ideas that you can do to help animals in the winter. Eventually, the days grow longer, the nights grow shorter, it begins to get warm. and we know that spring is on its way. And that's the end. Thank you so much for joining me today on reading this book. It's a lot of fun to learn about what animals are doing in the winter. We can learn from books and we can learn from going outside and seeing what's going on. So see you next time. Thank you.